Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about the Lois Halphinale Basedia capsules as well as the weapon badges and how you can take advantage of the situation right now to make quite a lot of money. Now the very first thing I need to go over is of course the free scratch. So as we can see over here under play scratch tickets, there is the kimono revival. We get one free pull over here. Keep in mind there are a lot, and I mean a lot of really nice cosmetic items over here. I'm not going to go over each one because you know, I don't want to inflate the prices by accident, but nevertheless you get one free pull. As we can see right here, we're going to do our one free pull. Hopefully we get something that I want, and we get the Brilliance Yukata. That's fine, you know, actually something that I would like to use. Now, obviously, the very first thing I want to do is to check the price. So, wow, 1.5 mil. That's pretty dang awesome. So I can sell this or I can use it, really up to me. But nevertheless, make sure that you do your one free pull. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is how to actually make the Lois Halphinale, which is the new best in slot Halphinale. So we do need to head over to the item lab, go to exchange enhancement materials, augment capsule, and at the very top, you can see right here, Lois Halphinale. As for the stats it does give 35 HP, 7 PP, and 6% potency. This is very, very powerful, by the way. However, it is also very, very expensive to make. The reason I say this is because you do need 10 Lux Halphinales, 10 Magis Halphinales, and 50 Basedia capsules. A lot of you guys are gonna hit the wall where you don't have 50 Basedia capsules because this is a capsule that just got released and you need to farm for it. The drop rate is relatively low. In Leciel Exploration, there is a chance of getting between 0 to 2 of these capsules every single run. So it does suck. Originally, I thought we were guaranteed 1 per run. Unfortunately, that is not the case. Now, do not worry about boosting your RDR to a certain amount to guarantee 1 per run, because you actually need an ungodly amount of RDR. You need about 300 to 350% RDR to guarantee to get 1 every single run, and I don't think it's worth it. Just wait for a boost campaign. I'm sure Sega will release a boost campaign of some sort, probably in the next week or 2. So just stay tuned for that, because remember, we do have the NGS headline tomorrow. I actually have a lot of really exciting news I want to go over, but I'm just gonna wait for tomorrow's NGS headline. We get the English version, the all-inclusive version, and then I'll make the video about it. But we will get information on the EX style, and the EX style it's so awesome. It's so awesome. But remember, at the very beginning of the video, I said that you could make a lot of money and to take advantage of the situation, and this has to do with the Basedia capsules. Sega finally listened. I don't actually know if they listened to me, but nevertheless, they finally made these high-end materials tradable. So the Basedia capsules, obviously everyone wants them because they want to make their Lois Halphinales, especially all the endgame players or the min-maxers. Well, this is where you can make a lot of money, because each Basedia capsule is going for 370,000 basically right now. This was going for like 550,000 earlier when the servers just released. I actually sold quite a bunch of them, as you can see right here. I actually sold 10 of the Basedia capsules for I think 545,000 each, and I did make almost 5 million over here. And then like a couple hours later, I did get another 7, which I also threw on the market for 400,000 each, and then I made another 2.5. So basically I made like 7 million-ish in a single day simply by just throwing all of my Basedia capsules onto the market. Now, there are several ways to farm the Basedia capsule. The first one is, of course, smashing your head against a wall in Leciel Exploration over and over and over, and hoping that you get the Basedia capsule to drop. However, the smarter way is actually to just wait for the urgent quest. The reason for this is because the limited time urgent quest, or the Griffin, the UQ that I hate so much, is guaranteed to give you 3 Basedia capsules per run. And there is a campaign going on right now where there is double UQ. So every time the UQ pops up, you are guaranteed 6 Basedia capsules. So basically I was making 3 million every time a UQ came up because I immediately ran it and I immediately sold all of my capsules. Now, you could be a little bit smarter about it because everyone's going to be doing the same thing as I'm doing, just selling their capsules immediately right after the UQ. So basically what happens to the economy is like, oh, Basedia capsules price is going up. UQ happens, crash. and then it slowly goes up, 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 and then UQ happens again, and then crash. So that's basically the trend of what's happening to the market for the Basedia capsules. So it might not be the best idea to sell all of your augments immediately right after the UQ, as everyone's doing that, so everyone's undercutting each other. You might want to wait like an hour or two before putting up your Basedia capsules. However, if you're super paranoid about the prices like crashing for good and staying low and never recovering, then, you know, by all means, just get it out of your inventory. You know, 300,000, 250,000, money is still money, right? So that's what I plan to do for the next couple of days, is to just sell every single Basedia capsule that I get, and then like 1 week later, 2 weeks later, when the prices have absolutely demolished and crashed and stabilized, then I will start farming my Basedia capsules, or even possibly just buy back the Basedia capsules in order to make my Lois Halphinale. That's my game plan. However, I do understand there are a lot of people who don't have the Magis Halphinales, because that actually requires you to go do dual quests with Masquerade and all of that stuff, and not many people want to do that. Well, there is the new End Weapon Badge Exchange Shop over here. Well, it's not new, it's been here for a while, but nevertheless, you head over to the Item Exchange Shop under Item Recycle and End Weapon Badge Exchange. And right here, you can see there is the Magis Halphinale as well as Magis Gladius Soul. You want to focus on the Magis Halphinales. You can exchange your Weapon Badge Ace to obtain 5 of these, and it will cost 50 Weapon Badge Ace for one of these Magis Halphinales. Now, I know a lot of you guys do not have Weapon Badge Ace, so you're wondering, where do you actually obtain these? You obtain this from the Griffin Urgent Quest, or the Limited Time Urgent Quest. You get 10 per run, so because there's the double UQ, you are guaranteed 20 every time a UQ pops up, so you definitely want to run it. And as you can see here, I actually have 435, and no, I did not run 43 runs of the UQ. I just had a lot left over from before, because Weapon Badge A's were available like a year ago or 2 years ago. I just never used all of them. So I can use my leftover Weapon Badge Ace, 250 of them, in order to obtain 5 Magis Halphinales, and wabam, easy peasy. Now, if you're an OG player and you still have a lot of Weapon Badge Bs and Cs that you don't need because you bought out all of the high value augments over here, you can actually turn them all into As. I personally don't like the conversion rate. However, you know, what else are you going to use those badges for anyway, right? So you can convert your Weapon Badge Bs into As. However, it's a 5-to-1 ratio, which means you need 5 Weapon Badge Bs to make 1 Weapon Badge As. And it's the same thing with the Cs. You can also exchange 5 Weapon Badge Cs into 1 Weapon Badge A. The conversion rate is not very good. However, you know, if you have nothing else to spend the weapon badges on because you've literally exchanged for all of the items over here, then by all means go ahead. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is of course Leciel Exploration, because you guys are going to be spending a lot of time farming over here. They have updated the loot pool over here. As you can see, you can obtain lay-in weapons and crest weapons in Leciel Exploration. However, not only that, you also get Juvlog Vault 1s and 2s, and you also get crest cubes. Now, I personally farmed 14 runs yesterday and I did not get a single crest cube, and nor did I get a lay-in or a crest weapon. However, I know a lot of people have been getting crest weapons even without any RDR boost, because the crest weapon prices have absolutely tanked. So, you know, if you want to try your luck, by all means farm ahead, because, you know, you're killing multiple birds with one stone. You're also obtaining the Basedia capsules. Again, the drop rate is 0 to 2, so you might have multiple runs where you actually don't get any Basedia capsules. But they have added Magis Halphinales. I've actually gotten several Magis Halphinales farming in Leciel Exploration, so the drop rate isn't horrible. However, it's, you know, it's still low. But nevertheless, Leciel Exploration is very, very attractive right now because of all the possible drops. So even if you don't get your Basedia capsules, you might get a crest cube, you might get a crest weapon, you might get a lay-in weapon. You're guaranteed to get the Juvlog Vaults 1 and 2. So for my friends who are still trying to make their Iden weapon, just farm here. Do not farm at the Ultra Realm combat zone anymore, simply because nobody's really farming here anymore, as everyone is going to Leciel Exploration. And another benefit of Leciel Exploration is it does have all ship matchmaking, so you can play with all of your other friends on other ships. So let's say that you're playing on a less populated ship such as ship 4 or ship 3, just turn on all ship matchmaking, and that way you'll be able to play with other people and matchmaking will be significantly faster. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is, of course, the limited time tasks over here. You might have noticed when you're running Leciel Exploration, you're getting a ton of different cosmetic items, and you're going like, what the heck, where am I getting all of these? This is actually from the limited time tasks. If you run 30 runs of Leciel Exploration, you get a ton of nice looking cosmetic items, and the same thing applies with the urgent quest. So you do need to do the urgent quest a total of 15 times in order to get a bunch of cosmetic items. There's even 500,000 M Meseta for clearing it 10 times. So you definitely want to do all of these. I mean, you're going to be doing them anyway since you need your Basedia capsules. So just don't freak out when you suddenly start seeing all these cosmetic items popping in your inventory and you're like, whoa, where did all these come from? It's just from the limited time tasks. So in conclusion, I'm pretty happy that Sega listened to us and finally made the Basedia capsules tradable, or just whatever the new hotness is. Allowing us to trade those items allow people who don't care about best in slot to make a lot of money, and for those who do care about best in slot to spend their money to buy these things so that they can get their Lois Halphinales faster. Now, as for what to do this week, again, it's very simple. You're just going to be spamming Leciel Exploration, and then you're going to be spamming the urgent quest whenever it comes up. Please do not sleep on the urgent quest, especially in the first couple of days to the first week, because those Basedia capsules are going for so much money, and you're guaranteed 6 of them every time the UQ comes up because of the double UQ thing. So yeah, it's just too good to pass up. I know I hate the Griffin as much as you do, but I'll go through the pain in order to make that 3 million Meseta every time a UQ comes up. That's a little bit too good to pass up. And last but not least, don't forget to tune into tomorrow's video, as I will recap the NGS headline. Now, if you want to watch it live, don't worry, I will be live streaming it on twitch.tv/keroppi_sensei. The link is below, you know, give me a follow or something. And yeah, we will be going over the entire NGS headline. We will be talking about the EX skills or the EX styles. And yeah, I really can't wait to share all that information with you, because it looks really, really good.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.